Hey, English 101 students, Professor Norman here coming at you with a check-in for week 10. I've got two kind of major reminders to give you this week. They relate to our two kind of focuses. Of course, we're working on Essay 3, and then we're also kind of taking a look back at the first half of the semester with what I call Amnesty Week. This chance for you to turn in some old assignments that maybe either you missed or the chance to revise some old assignments. So I just want to remind you about those two things. Let's start with the Amnesty Week. Remember that you can submit 4 different things if you missed one of them or all of them, or if you just want to revise for a better grade. And those 4 things are reading reflection response number 1 over Frederick Douglass's Learning to Read, the learning essay, which is all about your decision to come to college. The reading reflection response number 2, which is over Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail, and then the analysis essay, where you take a text and you analyze it for how it works. And that really looks at the emotional appeal, logical appeal, and credibility appeal. Those folders with all the notes and things like that, those are still available on the side menu, so you can check out all that kind of stuff. And of course, you are welcome to, get some help from me. At this point, as I'm recording this now, my last open office hour is on Friday at 1 p.m., but I could meet other times as well. Now, my weekend is totally swamped, so try to contact me ahead of that. But if there's anything I can do to help, please, 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 I'd be glad to. Just let me know. Of course, the Writing Center is also available. You can visit the Writing Center in person, or you can sign up for virtual tutoring as well. And that virtual tutoring might be, like, how do I go about revising this? The professor said I needed to do this, this, and this. How do I do that? And they can give you some hands-on assistance that way. So I just want to encourage everybody to do that because there's no downside. It takes a little bit of time. It might be a little tedious here or there, but it's well worth it because it will not only help you increase your grade right now, but it will also help you with potentially your end of the semester project, which I haven't talked about much yet, but it's called the portfolio project, where you have to revise all of your essays. So that's something that we'll obviously talk about in a couple of weeks, after we get through these next 2 essay projects, but it is coming. And so anything that you do this week in week 10 is something you won't have to worry about so much in like week, 15, 16. Wow, it's not that far away. Just realized that. For Essay 3, let me touch on this briefly. Next week, we're going to really start talking about, like researching and putting together a document called an annotated bibliography, which hopefully you've had a chance to read up a little bit on, and it might be starting to make sense, but we'll talk about it more next week. The main thing you need to do right now is just nail down the topic idea. Get the topic idea down, and then everything else will kind of flow from that. So just as a reminder, our goal here is to have a good research question. What's a research question? Well, I call it a fact-finding question, meaning that you're asking a question that you can answer with factual data. So I've looked over all the brainstorming notes that people have submitted so far, and by and large, they're good topics. A couple of them I made some suggestions on how to tweak the question just a little bit, but that's okay. The main 2 things that I just want to remind everybody about are, 1, make sure that you do that stuff, that you submit the brainstorming notes and that kind of stuff, and don't, kind of lag on that, because it really will be tough to catch up in the, upcoming weeks if you're not, hitting the ground running with that. Or using this week to catch up a little bit. But then the other thing that I just wanted to say is, check out that feedback and make sure that it makes sense. Make sure that it makes sense what you're kind of looking for, because that's going to be so important for actually finding this stuff when we talk about that next week. So those 2 major things I just wanted to share with you guys: Amnesty Week, and then the Essay 3 kind of like setup stuff. Let's try and make really good progress on those things this week. You have until Sunday night, and then next week we'll get more into the Essay 3 research process, finding stuff and how to evaluate it and that kind of thing. So big stuff coming up. And of course, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm at your service. So email mnorman@vinu.edu, come by during the office hours, or email me if there's a better time that we can meet. I'll be glad to help however I can. So in signing off, stay safe and stay healthy and stay as positive as possible. I'll talk to you guys next week.